I will do that. So.
Hi, everybody. Andrea Fair here with Flying Free Ministries. And today we have the privilege of talking with Corinne Hewitt. Corinne lives in Hannah, Alberta. So she's a Canadian. Woo! And she actually has her own quilting store, which is amazing. And she's written 3 books and a cookbook, which I find exciting to know. I just learned that just recently. So I'm excited to chat with her, and I'm sure you're excited to listen. And so welcome, Corinne. Thanks so much for coming here.
Well, thanks for asking me.
You bet. Have you always enjoyed writing? Is that something?
I think I enjoyed books more than I enjoyed writing, but I always thought writers were like the coolest people in the world, and to be an author is just awesome. I used to spend time in the library at school, and I wanted to have my own library at home. And in fact, I made all my books at home have library cards and stuff. So yeah, no, I just love the thought of writing. And actually my son took an interest in, so I thought, writing. And so for Christmas, I gave him all this stuff to be a writer, but it never panned. So
in the end, you're the writer. And so you got the job done, which obviously it takes a lot of work. So what was the tipping point for you that you went from like thinking that writers were cool to becoming one of the cool writers by writing your series?
Well, I actually started writing, actually, when I was 12. Mm-hmm. I tried to write my memoir. I thought my life was pretty exciting.
Awesome.
When I was like 15, 16, I tried to write a love story. That lasted like a couple chapters. And I don't know, then when I got into my 30s, I'm like, I'm going to write this book. So I was going to write the sequel to Bedknobs and Broomsticks, of all things, because I love that movie. And that's something I would even let my kids probably watch when I, But anyway, so then I decided, no, every year for about 5 years, I said, this is the year I'm going to write my book. This is the year I'm going to write my book. Every January, I'd say this, and it would never happen. And life got busy, inventory happened, and then work got busy. Anyways, I decided on writing about Cannington Manor. Well, I wasn't going to write about it. I just wanted to depict it, I guess. My grandma worked there for 18 years when I was a kid. I used to spend time, dress up with her, tell people history. I just loved history, and we have some really cool buildings that are near the area that are part of the area, and I just thought that would be cool. So I was going to write about the founder of Cannington Manor and his wife in life, because they had a lot of kids. And I started, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was having a hard time telling the difference between fact and fiction. I wanted it to be so factual, but yet I wanted to write fiction, so that wasn't working for me. So I decided on Jacob. I don't know. I always liked the name Jacob. I would have named one of my kids Jacob, but I don't like shortening people's names, and I knew he would be shortened, so that's why I stayed away from that. So I decided to write about Jacob, and he lives in a house, or he grew up in a farm that's close to Cannington Manor. So I changed Cannington Manor to Abington Pickett's, and all my stories are fiction, and his life is fiction. There's a few tiny facts of history as far as in the area. There are known facts like who's the prime minister, who's the king, who, little things that did happen that everybody knows about. There's lots of things, and more so in the second and the third book. And anyways, but Jacob grew up in this farm in this beautiful stone house that's still there. It's been renovated and just sold actually this past summer, or no, sorry, summer before. To some other people, but it was kept in the family. But anyway, he grew up there and finds his way to Abington Pickett's, which was Cannington Manor. But anyway, so I just decided on Jacob, and I find it so easy to write about a boy, because that's one thing people do ask me: how do you write about a boy or a man instead of a girl? And I find it easier. In fact, my third book is mostly about Abigail, which you'll learn about her if you read the book. And I don't know, I didn't find it as easy. I don't know why. Anyways, yeah.
Wow. So there's 3 books in the series there, and it's a novel. And can you tell me about it, the themes of forgiveness that are in your series or in this last book, whichever?
Actually, all 3 books are about forgiveness, faith, and salvation, all of them. Mm-hmm. And Jacob has a secret. He learns a secret and he has to keep it. But I struggled through the questions because I didn't want to give anything away.
Totally, that makes sense.
So I was really trying to tiptoe around certain things that I said about forgiveness because, anyways, Jacob has a lot of hardship with close family. His father is quite mean and with him and his siblings and his mom. And anyways, he leaves the farm to go to Abington Pickets because of his father, and he has to learn to forgive a lot of people or a lot of things and a few people. So, and more so, and same in the second book. There's forgiveness and faith, mostly faith in that book, I guess. So,
okay. Wow. So just the reality of because we have struggle in our lives, we all have to practice forgiveness, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the reality. So how about you? Has your personal experience with forgiveness affected how you write your book?
Well, this is a tough question. Yes, forgiveness is hard for everybody. At least I'm pretty sure it is. It's hard
for me, for sure.
Yes, we all have to learn to forgive. We're taught to forgive as kids usually. I try to teach my kids to forgive, and myself, I find it easy to hold a grudge. But as I got older, I have learned to forgive, and it doesn't mean that you have to be that person's best friend just because you forgave them, but just forgive for yourself. It's forgiveness is for you, not the other person. So, and I know that's been said by many, many people, but it is true. And so I try to relate how I would forgive and how maybe more so you're supposed to forgive than how I'm not very good at practicing what I preach sometimes. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you like to say to anyone who's struggling with forgiveness?
Well, as I said before, forgiveness is for you, not for the other person, and just forgive them, let go, and move on, because holding on to that makes you sick, makes you bitter, makes your heart hard. You don't want that.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Corinne. I appreciate you sharing, and I'm excited to read your books. I'm like, I've planned to do, I'm just going to do like a novel read this Christmas holiday. It'll be like, hi family, I love you. I'm going to go back to read now. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I would love for you to, make sure you put your website in the comments below, or send it to me and I'll make sure it's on here, because you guys have got to check out her amazing quilts and all the things that happen in her store, because it's crazy awesome. Anyways, thanks Corinne for sharing with us, and thanks everybody for listening.